Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Black Energy and Truth, a podcast where we have open discussion and talk about topics that might seem taboo within the Black community. But don't worry, this podcast is for everybody. First and foremost, I do want to start off by acknowledging and apologizing for the fact that I did not drop an episode last week. It's just been a lot going on within these past 2 weeks, but I did dedicate this week to bring to you 3 lessons I feel is necessary that everybody needs to learn at least once in their lifetime and we need to talk about. So with that being said, we're just going to jump straight into this week's episode. We're going to focus on 3 topics: relationships, friendships, growth/changing. Okay, those are the 3 topics that we're going to be talking about today. These 3 things have been, repeatedly coming up within my life, others' lives that's close to me, and I have had multiple analyzing sessions where I sit down and just break down these 3 things, like why are they important, why are they affecting our lives, so on and so on. So I'm going to bring that to you guys and just basically try to vaguely or deeply go into basically what I've learned and share it. And if you guys have any input or any commentary on it, please feel free to let me know once I drop these videos, okay? And this will not be a visual video this week. This is purely audio due to the fact that I'm not looking my best. Okay, it is COVID time. I'm just in the house chilling. I don't look my best, so just hear me out. So we're going to start off with relationships. Like I said, if you don't know, I am a 20-something millennial. And during this time, relationships, as far as intimate ones like dating and things of that sort, it is very, very hard to maintain or even begin. Dating in my generation is like the most difficult thing to do from a woman's point of view, and a Black woman's point of view at that. And I'm not sure why. However, the main point, which is hard, is, I guess meeting men that are on the same page and willing to cooperate or even willing to pursue the same things that you're interested in. I can only speak from my own personal experiences. So, and maybe it's the men that I'm running into, but it is so hard to even get to a point where you guys both want to pursue a relationship, or where I even want to pursue a relationship. We can't even get past the talking stage. And a lot of people don't want to admit that there is a such thing as a talking stage when you're trying to get to know people or trying to date. You can't get to the dating part, or you can't get to the relationship part, the boyfriend-girlfriend part, without talking. And in order to talk, you guys are basically vetting each other out, and you're trying to even see if you're interested in pursuing something more. That happens in any relationship. You guys talk first. And people think that talking, you might be talking to multiple people, and that's fine. Because you're not going to just sit up here and dedicate your time and energy to just one particular person the very first few moments that you guys meet, or even, get in contact with each other. Nowadays, a lot of people, especially in my generation, are meeting online, whether you guys have mutual friends and you haven't really met each other in person before, but it is some form of sliding in the DMs and exchanging numbers or exchanging contact information, and then you guys go on from there. That right there is the initiating of the talking stage. Whether you want to accept it or not, that's the talking stage. Now, how significant the talking stage is to you, that varies on situations. Now, people might say, oh, we were just talking, or people don't want to claim that they were talking to somebody. If you guys had conversations, you talked. You talk to strangers. You talk to your family. You talk. You have to get to, know somebody just by talking. Now, after that stage, then you might date, which means you guys are going out. You guys are spending time with each other, still vetting each other, and you still might be doing this with multiple people just to see, again, if the interest is growing and if the interest is, lining up and whether or not you want to pursue something more. After that, then you might sit up here and have a conversation where you guys both agree to be mutually exclusive, where you are no longer talking to or you're no longer dating or talking to multiple people. You guys are only doing that with each other. Now, during that time, you might or might not have already had sex. I know, whatever, that's your business. But again, there are stages to the whole dating game and getting into a relationship. I'm trailing off. However, I just want to go back to the main point that I have a lot of experiences that guys are making this whole talking and dating thing very much harder than what it needs to be. And I'm not sure why, but especially if they are the ones to initiate it, why make it hard? And what I mean by hard is I understand that guys my age, 20 something, maybe even early 30s, you're growing, you're learning, but guys are just being dumb. Now, I'm gonna put it out there. They're just being dumb. You don't sit up here and say that you want to pursue a relationship, yada yada yada, I like you a lot. They might even come off strong within like the first couple weeks that you guys are talking. How can you say that you like me or, you really mess with me, F with me, you know what they be saying, and you don't really even know me? Like, I feel like dudes aren't going into depth with trying to get to know females. Like, sex is so much the priority that you're not even really trying to get to know a person deeply. Like, that's my whole thing. Like, don't say that you want to be in a relationship with me and you don't even know me. You don't even know my last name. You don't even know, you haven't asked me about my family. We haven't even got into, why are you even single? Like, what makes you you? Whatever the case may be. Deep analyzing questions and stuff like that. Who are your friends? What type of people do you be hanging around with? We haven't gotten to that point, but you already have came up with the idea that you super duper like me. I don't understand that. And maybe that's just me. I can't form, feelings based off thin air. There has to be some type of substance of conversation. And for there to be substance in your conversation, there has to be consistency. There is no consistency nowadays. And you know what? This might happen with females too. I mean, I just can't sit up here and have a male bashing party, but this is what I'm seeing from a lot of guys, that there's no consistency with the talking. You might say that you like me, but how do you go hours without talking to me? That doesn't make sense to me. And then you want to come back and pick up the conversation where you left it, like it's okay. It's not okay. Now, my feelings definitely can grow to become mutual, to want to pursue a relationship if you're doing that. How can you expect that? How can you say that I like you, but your actions are not showing it? And I think that's the main point here. A lot of guys are doing a lot of talking. Your words might sound good, but to a certain extent, we've heard it already. We've heard it. All guys, it has been proven that you guys are reading from the same male book. You're saying the same thing. I'm not like those other guys. I'm different. I'm trying to show you something else. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, now where's the actions to back that up? You start off good week 1, but week 2, week 4, you're trailed off. The connection is no longer there. I don't really want to talk to you like that anymore. But I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt thinking that maybe you can be different. I can't sit up here and put my past experiences onto this new person, but it comes to show time and time again that it's the same thing. So word of advice to the men out there, especially in the 20-somethings that trying to pursue a relationship with females or even talk to different females, your actions need to match your words. And when I say that is, if you say that you like somebody or you say you're trying to pursue something, and if sex is not your main priority, please make that shown through your actions. And what I mean is be consistent, okay? And also don't say something that you don't mean, okay? Don't sit up here and be quick to say, I really F with you, or I really like you, and you don't even really deeply know that person. Okay, we don't have to be quick to sit up here and proclaim our love and our feelings or whatever the case may be. Build a friendship first. Friendships are the foundation of relationships, and without that, you have nothing. So that's pretty much where it goes. And even I'm gonna touch on after breakups. Now y'all know men be sticking around after breakups, and even women be sticking around after breakups. Y'all say that y'all wanna, just we're talking, we're trying to reclaim a friendship. That's fine to a certain extent. But I know that people can get wrapped up in what used to be after a breakup. Y'all might say that y'all are just friends, and then you have either one or both parties saying, I miss you and can't wait to see you, or certain things along that line. It goes above the friendship line. Now y'all are trailing back into relationships. Now when that happens, that's fine. That's fine if both parties are under agreement of what it is, what the relationship is. But don't sit up here and then hurt one another or one part of the party by, again, your actions are not matching your words. You guys are supposed to be reclaiming your friendship, but then one party goes off and sit up here, jumps into another relationship unknowingly. Okay? You cannot go from I miss you to I'm with somebody else. Make that clear. Make that line clear, because now you're blurring feelings, you're blurring emotions, because especially if it's a fresh breakup, that some feelings are still there and you are playing off of that. Please make sure your actions are matching your words. No more emotions need to be wrapped up or hurt in any type of situation. It is so simple, and the whole thing is to communicate. We have been on this stay-at-home order, quarantine, lockdown, whatever you want to call it, for about a good 2-3 months now. I would think with not seeing each other and not being outside like that, communication would have been improved tremendously, but that is not the thing. I'm like, you're meeting people and people want you to sit up here and hurry up and come and see them. Sir, we are on quarantine. We are on lockdown. I don't know if you have the COVID. I'm not coming to see you. But even then, when you guys are not seeing each other like that, communication should be strong. There is no reason during this time that consistency should not be there, especially if that that person is not working. What are you doing to the point where you say you like me, you say you want to pursue a relationship, but you cannot communicate? You're going hours without communicating. And if you are so-called busy, communicate that. Just say a simple, I'm going to talk to you later, I'm a little busy right now, is all you have to say. Bada bing, bada boom. I just solved your relationships in like 2 seconds. Moving on, we're going to talk about friendships. Now, child, things are going to get easier, hopefully. But friendships have been something I have been learning about and dealing with for almost a year. And you could probably say more. But the main point in hand that I have learned about friendships is that friendships are the same thing as intimate relationships. The only difference is you guys are not having sex with your friends. Hopefully not. But yes, friendships are the same as relationships. You must treat them the same. The same work that you go into keeping your girlfriend or your boyfriend happy and, building that relationship and, I don't know, sustaining it, it's the same thing that happens with friendships. That's the only difference. You guys just aren't screwing. It takes a lot to sit up here and maintain a friendship. A lot of analyzation. Okay, I done sit up here and analyze so many friendships, and I have lost a lot of friendships. So that's why I feel the need to sit up here and speak on it, because you might get to a point where you have these long-standing friendships. You might have been friends with people since elementary, high school, yada, yada, yada. But have you ever sat up here and took the time out to sit up here and analyze your friendships to see what is the significance of them? And if it is significant, that's great. Now we have to work on that. You have to, make sure those friendships last. You can't sit up here and be selfish in friendships, just like you can't be selfish in relationships. Yes, you have to maintain some type of form of communication. Now, if you guys have that friendship where you can go days or even weeks without speaking to each other and then you pick it right back up like you never left, that's fine. That's perfect. I have a friendship like that. You feel me? But it takes a lot of hard work, a lot of communication, a lot of time, a lot of consistency. You still have to take time out and make sure you're dedicating that to your friends. And it's not sitting up here, kissing nobody's butt or anything like that. But, like I said, it's like a regular relationship. You will dedicate time to your relationship. You will make sure that you guys go out on dates and stuff like that. So make sure that you have your girl or your guy time with your friends. There's nothing wrong with that. And outside of your relationships. So if you are in a relationship with your significant other, make sure you're taking the time outside of that to dedicate and to grow your friendship and maintain your friendship. You don't have to sit up here and drag your significant other everywhere your friends go. Now, if you do, that is fine, but that's not necessary, and people need to understand that's necessary. Another thing I want to say is that it doesn't take much to lose a friendship, especially if you guys have been friends for a long time. You haven't had no really bad fallout or anything like that, or no confrontation. That's great. But I feel like now I know for a fact that confrontations are probably necessary. You have to speak out on certain things, especially when you have issues with people. Have those conversations, because it can save you a lot of time, a lot of opportunities, because you get to really dive deep into who those people are, and they get to see who you are. So, and when I want to go back to, how easy it is to lose a friendship or whatnot, because all it takes is one big blowout or even like a simple miscommunication to sit up here and break up what you thought was a good friendship. So that's why I say you need to take the time out to sit up here and analyze and evaluate the friendships that you have with every individual that you consider a friend within your group. Now, you might have a friend group of 5 or more people, or your friend group might even be small, 2 or 3 people, or even that one. But sit up here and sit down and analyze your friendships. And what I mean by that is there are 3 questions that you want to sit up here and ask yourself. What is the basis of my friendship? What does that person add to my life? And is my relationship with them significant? So when I say what is the basis of your friendship, what is your friendship built on? I mean, okay, did you guys meet each other in elementary school, high school? How did you guys become friends? What were your common interests? And if you took those common interests away, would that relationship still be significant? Would it? Like, you have to really ask yourself that. Like, if you guys were friends based off we like to go to the movies and we like to go out to eat. Cool. That's how we are friends. Now, if we take that away, is it significant? Can I talk to that person about anything that's going on in my life? Can I call that person when I need them? Is that person going to, I don't know, be there in my time of crisis or need, and vice versa? Will I be there for that friend? Will I feel comfortable being there for that person? You have to break down what is the basis of your friendship. And then it goes on to, what does that person add to your life? Again, can that person be your rock in any situation? Can you call that person in your time of need? Do you feel comfortable disclosing your deepest, darkest secrets to that person? And that's fine. Not all your friends are going to have that most significant role. I think that's where you have best friends and stuff like that come in at. But still, you should be able to talk about any and everything to those you call your friends or even your best friends. So break that situation down. And also, is your relationship with them significant? If they sat up here and left your life today, meaning y'all are no longer friends or whatever the case may be, if they left your life today, would that leave an impact? Or would you not care? Because if you wouldn't care, if having them in your life doesn't really matter, like you wouldn't see a change, I would think you need to question that. Question the significance of that. Because maybe it's not really as deep of a relationship as you thought it is. Maybe it's very, very shallow. And you might not need that. Or it might not last long. So, not to be a Debbie Downer, I'm just putting out the facts out there. And this is something I have learned. Like I said, I have lost a lot of friendships recently. So that has caused me to sit up here and analyze and sit down and think about these type of things. Now, analyzing relationships are crucial in order to sit up here and sustain that relationship. Just because you analyze it doesn't mean it's about to sit up here and go away. It's just saying that you are looking at certain areas that you might need to work on, that you might need to sit up here and grow. And this is, again, not to bash anybody else, because guess what? In relationships and friendships or any type of situationship, you also need to analyze yourself. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to put that out there. You also need to analyze yourself and see what you bring to the friendship or relationship. What role do you play? What part do you play? Are you significant in the situation? Can people come to you and tell you anything? Can you be somebody's rock? So you have to look at yourself. I have looked at myself and seen what part do I play, especially in the loss in the relationships. What have I done? Do I care or not? You have to sit up here and not only analyze them, but analyze yourself as well. When you analyze things, it cuts down on wasted time, and it also prevents you from getting into situations that could have been avoided if you would have analyzed it beforehand. Okay? Like, wasted time is probably harsh, but because I know you need to sit up here and over time you learn, and there's lessons that need to be learned from these friendships or relationships or whatever the case may be. But with analyzing, you can really see whether or not you need to continue on that friendship or that relationship. And also you can get a clearer definition of what each person is as a person. I don't know if that makes sense, but you guys need to learn each other, continue to learn each other and grow with each other, especially if it's a friendship or relationships that have been maintaining for years. You need to understand that you're not going to be the same person that you were 5 years ago that you are today. So you can't expect people to act the same way. Okay? And last but not least on this topic, you can analyze all day long, But the fact of the matter is, you're not going to really know a person until you are in certain situations where you learn new things about them. So whether or not y'all end up being in a conflict or y'all fall out over whatever the case may be, you might say, oh, you changed. But fact of the matter is, you just never seen that side of them because y'all never been in that situation. So you can analyze all day long, but sometimes you just won't know until you're put in that particular situation where, a new side of them comes out. So we're going to move on to the last topic, which is growing and changing. To start off, I want to say that change is necessary in order to grow. Nothing that grows is the same as it was in the stage 1 as it is in stage 10. Nothing. You are not the same person that you were at 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old, and now in your 20s. You are not that same person. You have grown over time. So what in the world makes you think that the people you are with or surround yourself with are going to be the same people that you remember 5 years ago? Everybody grows. Everybody needs to grow. Growth is necessary in life. That is something that we have to remember, something that we have to accept. Things around you and things within you are going to change. You have to understand that. So the people that you surround yourself with, if they start to act different, or you sit up here and say, man, you've changed, especially if you guys get into a conflict or anything like that, you've changed. They're supposed to change. Now, whether or not that is for the better or for the worse, that's your own personal perception, and vice versa. If you have changed to them and they don't think it's the best, that's their own perception. But that might have been a good change for you. It might be benefiting you in life, and their change might be benefiting them in life. But regardless of the fact, people are going to change, period. And they need to change in order for them to grow in life. If you are not changing, and if somebody is not changing, you should be concerned, because that means they are not moving, they are not growing in life. They are still in that same phase that they were probably when they were in their teens, and now you guys are in your mid-20s. We should be on something new. We should be a changed person. We should be growing, becoming more mature. And with that being said, in any type of relationship or friendship, that growth might be detrimental. And what I mean by that is everyone is not meant to go with you on your life journey, and vice versa. So you might sit up here and lose friendships and relationships due to the fact that you guys are growing as people, as adults. You guys just might be separating and going your own different ways on your own different paths. And guess what, guys? That's okay. That's fine. That is normal. That is nothing to be but hurt about. Of course, losing friendships and relationships it's heartbreaking, because especially if that friendship meant something to you, or you guys had a lot of good times and stuff like that, losing it might hurt. And I'm not saying it shouldn't, but at the same time, with you knowing that people grow and people need to sit up here and go their own separate way, and they might not sit up here and grow with you or go along that journey with you, you have to accept that and be happy for them that they're sitting up here changing. It might be the best for them. So remember that everybody is not going to sit up here and be with you on your journey for the rest of your life. You're going to grow. You're going to make new friendships, and be in new relationships and things of that sort. Now, whether or not that doesn't mean don't work on it. or don't try to be consistent. Just if you do see that it's trailing off and people are going their own separate ways, you can try to hold on to it, or you can just give both you and that person room to sit up here and do their own thing. What's that saying? If you let something go and it comes back to you as meant to be. I guess the same thing will work with friendships and relationships. If let that person go. If 5-10 years from now you guys see each other walking down the street and you guys rekindle that same thing, fine, cool. If not, again, that's okay. Everybody needs room to grow and become their own person. That is okay. Don't be afraid to lose friendships or relationships. So yeah, the last thing on my list was everything changes. I mean, everyone changes, and you can't get mad at the change that you see, and they can't get mad at the change that they see from you. You can't control it. Who am I to say that you can't be a better person for yourself? And if that's no longer benefiting me, hey, who am I to stop you? It doesn't matter. As long as people aren't blatantly out here hurting and disrespecting each other, now that's where you have a problem, and address that, discuss that, hash that out as you need to be. But grow and change without, intentionally hurting or disrespecting the people that's around you. And that's pretty much all I have to say on that. I hope you guys learned a little from those 3 lessons about friendships, relationships, and growth and change. Again, in all of these situations, please be sure to analyze yourself, okay, as you analyze your relationships and friendships. So I'm going to head on out. This, again, will not be a visual, but it will be available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, share it with everybody. Please, please, please. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.